It's one of my favorite times of the year. This is summer. We're in the heat of summer. Summer just started about a week ago. This is the end of June, Southern California, Zone 10, and it's mango grafting season. And around this time of year, I get really excited because the possibilities become endless with grafting mangoes. It's a really fun thing to do. I'm here at my friend's house. She has like a mini field forest of mango trees. Look at this. She has some nice mango trees. Look at that one. Look at that big one over there. Here's one right here. She has a lot of nice varieties. Like, look at this variety right here. This is called Kathy K3. This is one of the newer varieties, one of the Zill varieties. Really good mango. One of my favorites that I've tried. I like that Indo-Chinese flavor, as they call it. This is a sister or brother of the sweet tart, one of the most epic mangoes available. And I think I'm gonna get a Scion of this one and graft it onto my tree because I really like that one. And it's time to graft mangoes. So let's get some Scions and let's go start grafting some mangoes out here in Southern California. So this is a perfect little Scion right here. Look at the end of this branch. Hopefully you can see it, get it in focus. Those buds are starting to swell. Those are gonna be new leaves. If I cut this and insert it into a rootstock and do a graft, these little buds will swell, break the tape, and grow. If the graft takes, they'll break the tape and grow into a successful graft. So you need these little buds right here. This is the perfect stage of development too. They're not too much developed and not too underdeveloped. So this is like a juicy little Scion that I'm gonna cut right now. And here we go, the Scion is cut. This is about 6-7 inches of stem. That's what I need. And this is the time of year. This is why it's time to graft mangoes now, is because the buds swell and the mangoes are in active growth. We see lots of new growth on mangoes now. Look at that, that's a new flush right there. Beautiful new flush of reddish orange leaves. So the juices are flowing, the trees are active, they're awake, and so we can do some nice grafting now. Let's go graft. Okay guys, here we are 1 week later. This is what the same Scion looks like now. Look, it's starting to push buds even before I had a chance to graft onto it. Look at that. Subscribe to my channel so you could see, because I'm going to do a video of how I like to preserve and store mango Scions. There's this particular way I like to do it, and so subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that video. But look, this is starting to push after a week, but I still think I can make this graft work because this bud hasn't pushed, and then this bud hasn't pushed either. So these two little buds are all I need to get a successful graft. This is probably too far gone. This is also too far gone, and this one down here is too far gone as well. There's a little bud forming right there at the end of my fingertip. That might work, but this I still think I can make this Scion work. By the way, again, this is the Kathy K3 mango, and we're gonna graft onto it right now. Okay, this is the tree I'm gonna graft onto right here. This is a Manila mango seedling tree, one of those Home Depot trees that they sell out here in Southern California. I bought this, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. I planted it in the ground in 2021 from a 3-gallon. And it's grown out really well. A lot of nice branches. It's branched out tremendously. Branches all over the place that are all graftable. And I've done a few grafts on this tree already, so I know this tree can take a graft. Because I realized that not all mango trees like to accept grafts. Like this one right here, look at this one. This is a Kerry mango seedling tree that is starting to make fruit. See? A seedling tree has already started to fruit. This tree does not like grafts. I've grafted on this tree a number of times, and it seems to want to refuse a lot of grafts. In fact, I don't think I got one successful graft on this tree. So, but this one right here takes any graft I put onto it. So I know grafts work on this tree, so I'm going to graft onto this tree right now. Look, let's see. I think I'm going to graft right here because this branch is not grafted. Mangoes are really, really forgiving about graft placement. Where you want to put grafts. You don't have to get super strategic about your graft placement. You could graft them high, you can graft them low, and they seem to take. There's a guy in India who has 300 varieties grafted onto one tree. So mangoes are really forgiving, they're really graft compatible, and they seem to accept grafts really well. But again, certain trees don't like it. So, but this one does, and I'm going to graft onto it right now. Let's go. Here are all my grafting materials. We got parafilm, we got buddy tape, we got some pruning shears, and I got my favorite utility knife. Don't need
too many materials. I really like buddy tape. I've been using it more recently. This is a little bit more expensive than grafting tape, but it's super, super good stuff. I like buddy tape a lot. All right, so we need 4 materials and that's it. Grafting is easy and fun. You don't need too many materials. Don't overthink grafting, okay? Here we go. Step, we're gonna prep the Scion. I'm gonna knock this bud off because it's not gonna grow. It's overgrown. And I'm gonna knock that bud off because it's also overgrown. And I'll knock off that bud because it's overgrown. We'll preserve these buds, again, like I mentioned earlier. And now I'm gonna start wrapping my Scion with buddy tape. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna stretch the tape so it could stick to itself. And that's the unique quality of this tape. Let me get some more tape. We're gonna wrap up everything except one part, and I'll show you in a second. I'm gonna be really careful covering these buds. I don't want to break them or damage them because you need these buds to get a successful graft. And I'm covering the top. We want to make a airtight kind of thing. Uh-oh. Let's see. Cover everything here. There we go. We got that covered. Is everything covered? It looks like it's... Oh no, here's an exposed spot. There we go. I left this part uncovered because I'm going to cut it and insert it into the tree over there. Okay, let's go. All right, guys, I just remembered. You see that brown tip at the end? This mango Scion was cut from the tree about a week ago, so it's all brown. It's kind of old. I want a fresh tip, so I'm going to cut off that very end to get a fresh tip. See, now it's all green. This is going to take the graft much better, okay? Now let's go graft. Okay, I'm going to graft this branch right here. It's a good branch. There's no grafts on it yet. I'm going to graft it up here towards the top because it's a good match with the Scion. And plus, I want the tree to grow upwards and not so close to the ground, to the bottom, so the mangoes don't hang. So I'm going to graft up here towards the top of the branch. And I'm going to do that right now. Here you go. Okay. Yeah, we'll go right here. I'm going to go right here. Just like that. There we go. Right there. There's the Scion. Pretty good match there. I'm going to do a kind of graft today that I have super high success with mangoes. It's called a modified cleft graft. It works really, really, really well with mangoes. And I'm going to show you how to do it today, okay? So in the classic cleft graft, I would cut right down the middle. I would cut right down the middle section of this branch. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cut from the side, okay? So it's instead of going down the middle, we're going to go somewhere in between the end here. Here, I'll show you. So it's going to go, classic cleft graft is right here down the middle, but this is going to go off to the side in between the end and the center. And I'm going to slowly wiggle my knife. So I make sure I'm in control here. And I'm going to cut down about 1.5 inches. I like this knife because the length of the knife tells me when to stop. And I just go down a little bit more. This knife is about 1 inch, 1.5 inches wide. Okay. So there's a cut here. See, it's a little flap thing. Instead of a cleft down the middle, it's a little flap. And I'm going to cut my Scion now. Ready? Here, come. Ready? So one side is going to get a long cut, like a classic cleft graft. The other side is going to get, so this one I cut about 1.5 inches. The other side is going to get half of that. So I'm going to cut off just the very end. Let's see. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, that's good. Let me show you why I kept cutting so many times right there. You see that long on one end, a little bit shorter on the other end. And the reason why I kept cutting is because I wanted to make that arrow shape. That's what I really want, is an arrow tipped, very sharp end. That's really important for this kind of graft, okay? And now we're gonna insert it here. All right, now it's time to insert. Okay. Ooh, that's a nice fit. Look at that, beautiful. Okay, let me try to show you here. There it is. That's what it should look like, right? Let me show you the other angle. There's one angle, there's the other angle. There's a good contact all along the Scion touching the rootstock. You want there to be good contact between them. And now all that's left is wrapping them two together and we're done. I'm gonna wrap with some parafilm tape. This is a different kind of tape. This is parafilm. This is a little bit easier to find than buddy tape. I'm preserving my buddy tape because that's a little bit harder to find. It's a little bit more expensive. So I'll wrap the union part where you insert the graft, where the Scion and the rootstock come together. I'm gonna wrap that with buddy tape. With parafilm, and then I'll put one layer of buddy tape at the end to really lock things in. So we'll do parafilm here, covering everything, and I'm gonna do several layers of tape, at least 5 or 6 layers of this parafilm to really smash the Scion and the rootstock together. They're gonna get really close together because they need to be close to grow together. All right. There we go. Got a good wrap. You got to stretch this tape as well in order for it to stick to itself. Okay, I think I got everything covered. Now we're gonna hit it with one last layer of buddy tape. Because what buddy tape does, it acts like a really good protective layer, and it allows air flow and all that stuff to get a good graft. Stretch this tape as well, buddy tape. And we're done. I'm gonna take my thumb and my forefinger and squeeze the two together. Give it a few squeezes at the end, and we're done. Yes.
Okay, so the grafting is now done. And now what do? Well, the answer is I do very little. At this point, nature takes over. Nature has to do the job now. It's the tree's job to take the graft and make it work. But I'm gonna give it some conditions to help that graft grow. For example, here, let me show you. Here's the graft. If something is growing beneath this area here, if there's new growth here, I'll just take it out because that's rootstock competition, okay? And the graft is here. I want the growth to happen in this area where the graft is and not down here. So if anything starts growing here, I'll take it all out. And okay, so a lot of people think you have to do some extra stuff and you have to add like rubber bands around the graft union. You got to put like some clamps, some seals, some kind of plastic bag over the graft. You know, people do that kind of thing. That's personally not my style. Everyone has their own style with grafting. Grafting is an ancient technique, thousands of years old. People have been grafting for a long time, and people develop their own little style over the years. But my personal style is just grafting tape, and that's it. And then I let nature do its job. We live in a time where the TikTok society, where we want fast results. We want to see things fast and quick and something to happen, a graft to grow immediately. It's not like that. You have to be patient. The fastest results I've seen is 2 weeks. And in the world of nature, in the world of trees, anything to happen in 2 weeks is really, really fast when it comes in terms of growth. So if we see results in 2 weeks, that's actually really good. I expect results in 2 weeks to a month. I expect to see something now. Because the another reason why we graft here in the summer here in Southern California is because the conditions are super ideal for grafting. The humidity is right, humidity is high, temperature's high, nighttime temperatures are high. So all those factors play a big role in getting a graft to take. So that's why we do it here in the summer, because the conditions are just right. You just do the graft and then you let Mother Nature handle the rest. Okay. Now, let me show you some results, some examples of this kind of modified cleft graft that I've done on mangoes last year. Let's take a look. It's pretty cool. Here's a modified cleft graft I did on this tree, the same tree that we just grafted. This is one I did last year. And look how the flap thing is starting to dry off, but there's good contact here. It's going off to the side. A lot of new growth here coming in. Wow. That's a peach cobbler mango graft right here. Here's another modified cleft graft on the same tree. Here's the side view. It's taken really well. And there's all the new growth from that tree. Looking like, there it is, all that good growth right there. Let's go look at some more. Okay, I'm here at another tree, and this is another modified cleft graft I did. When did I do this? Sweet Tart, July 2023. So a year ago. I did it about a year ago, and look, this is what it looks like now. Healed up real well. Looks like one side of the graft took. That's what it looks like from that angle. And this is what it looks like. A healed one of these looks like from this angle. And look at all the growth coming out of this Sweet Tart graft. All right, looking real nice. There it is, people. There's another one healed really well here. It's hard to capture it on film though. Let me see if I can get it. There's one from 2 years ago. Hopefully that can come into focus so you guys can see. Yeah, that's a 2-year-old modified cleft graft. Focus. It's not focusing that well, but whatever. Okay, there it is, folks. There it is, mango grafting season. It's on now. June, July, August, the summer months. Mangoes love the heat. They're in active growth now, so it's time to graft. I hope you can go out there and do some grafting, all right? Let me know how your grafting is going. As always, stay in touch. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, because I got a lot more mango related videos coming up. And as usual, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.